Hi everyone, today I want to show you this 6-port USB charger from Antpo, and this can be used anywhere in the world because it has an AC input of 100 to 240 volts AC, 50 to 60 Hz, so you can carry this around when you're traveling and use it anywhere in the world. Now this was sent to me to review, and I have to admit I'm on the fence as to whether I can recommend this or not. It's good, but it's not amazing. Now on the bottom here it says maximum of 8 amp output across the 6 USB ports and a maximum of 2.5 amp on any single port. Now I plugged in various testers and USB loads and USB devices, and I managed to draw around 7 amps. Now I probably could have drawn out 8, but I ran out of devices, so yes, I was able to draw out at least 7 amp. There was a little bit of voltage drop. It went down to around 4.7 volts. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. On the top here you'll notice there's a vent, and it actually draws air through these USB ports. I would have preferred if there was maybe an air slot on the bottom so they can draw cool air from underneath and then vent the hot air out the top, but it's actually drawing air through the USB ports. It's still better than some other USB chargers where they're completely sealed units and they get much hotter. I can confirm that these style of box chargers really do get a lot hotter than this Antpo one. That's one of its key advantages, is it doesn't get as hot as other chargers. So why do I say that I'm on the fence as to whether I can recommend it? Well, with chargers like this, you can actually draw out 2 amp or 2.4 amp on every single USB port at the same time. That means no matter what you plug in here, you're going to be able to charge it at full speed. Whereas this one, you've got 8 amp shared between those 6 ports. So you cannot fast charge all of your devices at the same time. But in reality, that's probably not going to affect that many people, because how many people need to charge 6 devices as fast as possible all at the same time? Probably not that important to most people. But the real kicker for me is that sometimes you plug something in and it will charge it at full speed. Other times it charges much slower. Now the only way you'd know this is if you have a USB tester like I do, and then you plug in, unplug, plug in, unplug, plug in, unplug, and then measure the difference. And it's something that I've noticed. Sometimes it negotiates just 1 amp, which is quite often, which is really the minimum nowadays, and other times it will go for a higher current. So it's really not like reliable on high speed charging. Again, a lot of people won't notice it, but for those people who charge, for instance, power banks, if it's charging at just say 1 amp instead of 1.6 or 1.8 or 2 amp, it's really going to take a long time. So let's go ahead and plug in my power bank to this. So you can see this time it's negotiated at 1 amp, so we're drawing 5.27 watts. Let's unplug it and then put it back in. Again, oh, there you go. So this time we've got 1.6 amp and we're drawing nearly 8 watts. So just by plugging it in and unplugging it, it's really a pot luck whether you're going to charge at 1 amp or whether you're going to charge at a higher current. So that's one of the things I don't like about this. It's not reliable in high speed charging. If you just want to charge a bunch of phones and you're not too worried about, if they charge at their super fast rate, then it's fine. But if you're really like a stickler for speed like I am, where I want to charge my stuff as fast as possible, you might be a little bit disappointed with this. Now you probably noticed on the front it says iPad, iPod, iPhone. Now that indicates it's probably got the special circuitry to fast charge devices from Apple. Some chargers don't have that. So let's go ahead and test with this iPad. So I'll plug into the port that says iPad, and we can see it's drawing around 1.39 amp or 6.7 watts. Now let's just quickly test with another charger, one of these like block type chargers, and it's doing much better here. It's drawing 1.8 amp, around 9 watts. And then let's compare with an official Apple charger, and there we're seeing around the same 1.74 amp, 8.6 watts. So again, we're not charging the iPad at its top speed. We're getting a reasonable speed, but we're not getting as fast as an official Apple charger, and we're not getting as fast as these block style chargers here. Now let's use my USB dummy load to see how much power we can draw out of a single USB port. We'll start with the one marked iPad, since that should be the one that can produce the most current. So we're at 1.4 amp and the voltage dropped down to 4.8 volts, which isn't too bad. Let's keep going. We're now at 2.2 amp and the voltage has dropped down to 4.77, which is, it's okay. It's not perfect, but it's okay. 2.5 amp, now this is what it's rated at as a maximum, and that's come up at 4.74 volts, again acceptable. And we're now up to 3 amp. We've got a pretty big voltage drop, 4.69 volts. Let's keep going, see what happens. In fact, we're nearly at the maximum of my tester. And there you go, 3.2 amp, 4.6 volts. Not amazing, but it's actually okay. So that suggests that their maximum rating of 2.5 amp for any single port is probably accurate. So that pretty much sums up this review. I know it's pretty short, but I have done a lot of testing off camera. Personally, I probably wouldn't buy this unless it was much cheaper than the other branded chargers out there. It's good enough, and for most people it will work perfectly and they won't have any complaints. But for someone who really wants to charge all of their devices as fast as possible, you might want to look at other chargers. I do like the fact that it's got the vent on top and it doesn't get as hot as other chargers. That is a big plus, but personally I like to charge my gadgets as fast as possible. So if you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching.